What is up, weather enthusiasts? I'm your host, Pat's Path Predictor. Let's get right into the weather. Alright, so this is what we have right here. This is the latest from the GFS model. So basically, the GFS model is still calling for 2 potential hurricanes to form and impact land at this point. First one's going to be in the eastern Pacific, so let's go ahead and look at the latest run. It does appear that this isn't going to develop for the next 2 to 3 days or so, and the NHC seems to agree with that. But let's go ahead and let's get to that in a second. But yeah, it looks like the area of interest is around right here, and it starts developing, and eventually it develops into a tropical depression and tropical storm. And I would say by in the next 3 days, on June 11th, we're going to get a tropical depression at this point, and the NHC seems to start see more of this, and they actually upped the chance of formation in the next 5 days from 20% yesterday all the way up to 50% now. So that's a huge jump in percentage chance. Now it's basically a coin flip at this point, and those chances are expected to go up in the next few days. Heck, I wouldn't be surprised that by the end of the day we could see a chance in the next 48 hours at this point. But yeah, we're looking at a 50% chance of development. So yeah, the NHC's taking this pretty seriously as well. So this will develop, and this is expected to strengthen, according to the GFS, into a hurricane and potentially make landfall in southern Mexico and actually impact the Gulf of Tehuantepec right here. So that's the situation we're looking at right here for the first one. Now, if you haven't caught it already, there's another area of interest in the Caribbean Sea. We covered this yesterday, and it looks like it's still going to develop, but it's going to change a little bit. Like, these model runs a week out. Like, what I'm noticing is that the models for the Caribbean Sea models for the formation of it, at least, the chances of it, like, it's been pretty consistent. The only thing that's really changing is the intensity and the track of it. But it's been pretty consistent in it forming in the first place. It's going to form in the Caribbean Sea, do its thing. It's going to intensify as it continues, potentially make a landfall in the Yucatan Peninsula as a tropical storm, and then really intensify in the Gulf of Mexico. And there is plenty of warm water for this to happen, and eventually make landfall in the Houston area. So it really hasn't if you look at it from the 12s yesterday, the only thing that's really changed is the intensity. If we actually pull that up just to show you guys what's going on, really the intensity is the only thing that's really changed. If you discount the timing of it as well, because the timing has changed quite a bit. It's still happening on the 22nd expected to make landfall on the 22nd of June. Just the timing of it's a little bit off, but they're still consistent of it developing in the first place. And the last model though actually had it making landfall in Florida. So if we can pull that up, actually had it making landfall in Florida earlier. Actually had it developing around the same time, but actually had it intensifying much earlier, clipping Cuba, and then making landfall in Florida and South Carolina. So there's no question that this thing is going to happen. Just the real issue is the intensity of it and the track of it. That's the only problem we have with this. And if we actually take a look at the satellite imagery, this is actually the satellite imagery from the Eastern Pacific Ocean for the first one. Like, there's plenty of storms for this thing to really, for an area to really develop into something much bigger, tropical-wise. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as well. Let's look at the shear profiles right here. Let's move that over for you. Yeah, the shear profiles, they're looking a lot better now than they were like last week when Alex was forming. But this is going to take some time to change. This is going to take some time to develop, so everyone needs to be patient about that. So, yeah, I just need to move that over real quickly. And well, actually, the latest sea temperatures are coming in. Gulf of Mexico, almost all of it is 82 to 84 degrees Fahrenheit. In fact, some of it's a bit warmer than that. We're looking at around 85 degrees Fahrenheit. This is where the loop current is, part of it at least. And this where the warmest portion of it is. The hurricane's likely not going to hit that, but if this thing continues to warm at the speed that it is, then we could be seeing warmer waters than just 83 degrees. We could be seeing up to 84 or 85 degrees Fahrenheit if this hurricane ends up striking the Houston area and Texas. But like I said before, I'll keep an eye on it for you guys as the situation develops. So you'll always hear from me when it comes to this. But with that being said, that's going to wrap up this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. It helps me out and helps me make more videos like these. The goal of this channel is to get more people engaged with weather and alert them about potential hazards like this. We are closing in on 700 subscribers, so subscribing would be much appreciated. The last video covering this was received quite well, so yeah, I really appreciate you guys coming out and checking it out. So with that being said, have a wonderful day. Stay safe.